Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Self-Love. We're going to do this one a little different this time, and I'm going to give you a mini, kind of like a crib style thing, but not really cribs, tour of my home and different ways I stay motivated within my home. I had someone ask me recently, how do I get stuff done? How do I stay motivated? What do I do in my daily life to be motivated? So I wanted to bring y'all into the fold a little bit and share with you. And in my last video, I talked a bit about grief, and I wanted to, talk not only about the grief aspect of it, but what I do to come out of states of grief and how I stay motivated after I've been feeling down, or if I've been feeling insecure, I've been feeling worried. What is it that I do? So in this video, I just really wanted to walk you through kind of like a day in the life of, but just all the things that I do within my life that help to keep me motivated. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or if there's ways that you stay motivated, please share with me down below. I feel shy and awkward, but that's okay. I'm going to keep talking anyway. So part of how I stay motivated is by having these beautiful plants in my home. For this plant, I really love it. I think it's called a plastic plant, actually. Something like that. I don't know. But this is my boo, because I like watching, like, it grows with these little stems first, and then it blossoms, and it seems to happen overnight, but not really, because it's such a slow process that, like, I'll wait a week and I'm like, oh wow, there's a new leaf here. And for me, it's just a reminder that like myself, we're constantly in flux and in growth. And it reminds me whenever I'm feeling stagnant or like nothing's happening, that things are happening incrementally in very small steps and stages. And similar to how this plant is growing very slowly and incrementally until it blossoms, I'm also doing the same thing. So it just reminds me to keep at it and keep doing the little things every day that build up to be the big things. So for me, knowledge is really important to staying motivated. So sometimes that might look like reading books, it might look like podcasts, it might look like motivational or inspirational videos on YouTube. But I just love gaining new knowledge to help me better implement it, but also just to help me feel that energy of like, yes, I can do this. So The 4 Agreements is one of those books for me where I read it recently, actually. I read it last month, and I was like, now it's one of my motivation books where I know I can look to it for just meaning around, like, in any situation, I can pick one of the agreements, like, so always do your best or be impeccable with your word, and apply it to a situation of how I can best move through it. And this new book that my partner gave me is called Success Through Stillness. And I'm really interested in figuring out for myself how I can start to blend together my spiritual practice with my entrepreneurship and my business so that I can live a more holistic life. And that's something that I'm working at for myself. And I'm excited to read this book to really see how I can bring it all together, how I can still stay spiritual, how I can still have a certain level of peace internally, but still be on the ground and get things done in the ways that I need to. So I'm excited to read this. But yeah, knowledge is a big key for me. For me, part of my spirituality is to use different healing modalities. And a big part of that is clearing energy. So if I'm having a hard day, or I've been outside and have been on transit, or if I've just had a really intense session with a client and I'm feeling energy from that, something I like to do is use sage as a way to clear the space in my home, clear the space in my studio, and clear my own energy, and just kind of like let things go and let it go of any confusion, pain, hurt as I smudge, like let the smoke take it all away kind of thing. And also Palo Santo is really great for that too. And I like using different cards. So there are oracle cards, there are different types of tarot cards, different types of things, but more so than anything, I like it because for me, it's a way to get some clarity. Sometimes I'm feeling like I just want something that I could sit with and be like, okay, this is the next step. This is what I'm going through. This is how I should approach the situation. And I feel like it's a way that the universe speaks to me to provide me clarity. So for instance, with this card that I pulled, it says inner truth. And it goes on to talk a little bit more about like what that means and how that flows. And I'll take the words of it and just really sit with it and meditate with it, and then think about how I can move through whatever difficult situation is to better really sit with my own inner truth. So that's always helpful for me. Quotes and affirmations all throughout my home are incredibly helpful. So what that looks like is every time I go in the fridge, there's this little quote on here. It says, "Your persistence will pay off soon." And I feel like whenever I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm doing everything that I'm doing for a reason. That helps me keep me motivated. It's just to have things all throughout my home that I could read constantly as reminders of why I'm working as hard as I am. And then the quote of the month on the fridge, which I like this organization system. I just want to say that too, side note, because for me, efficiency like helps me feel a sense of peace. And then having this quote here kind of ties it all in together. And it says, "Be brave enough to break your own heart. Don't surrender your joy for an ideal you used to have about yourself that isn't true anymore." So this is the quote that we chose, my roommate and I chose for this month. And it just helps remind me that it's important to be willing to like move outside of the boxes that I have created for myself and to do things differently than I thought I would do it. Again, just affirmations are always beautiful to remind me of like why it is that I do what I do. So I said I love affirmations. I really love affirmations. And sometimes it's not only things that I've like quotes that I've taken, but just things I've written to myself as reminders. So in my mirror that I use to get dressed daily, I have this reminder for me, kind of like a compass of like what it is that I'm trying to work on and what it is I want to build in terms of with me as a Mar. And it says, to create a space for healing that promotes the tools for young Black women to know the abundance of love and to be witness, mind, body, soul, allowing them to find true freedom from within. So as I'm getting dressed, that's something that I read as just a reminder of like why it's so important that I continue to do the work that I do within community, with clients, and just with my business as a whole. And I also have this box right here that I use for affirmations, and I'm able to just open it up and pull something from inside and just have something that reminds me. So it says, "Let water teach you." And it's just ways to remind myself of how I want to move through the world and what I'm trying to do. And then, I got this from Bay, and I just like reminding myself that I'm loved and cared for. So I really love this board because it's a place that I come to get inspired and remember where I've been. I have pictures here from back when I was taking cosmetology in high school, so like my humble beginnings in that way. I have pictures of my mom graduating beauty school, so just a reminder of where I've come from, and pictures of my family during like happy times. I have my first business card here, and my laminate from back when I was doing my apprenticeship. So this is just a really great place to remind me of where I've been and that I have achieved goals and that I can continue to achieve them. I also have cards here from different folks who've given to me. So family, friends, my partner, so like workshops I've done, just like different aspects of my life, messages people have given to me as a reminder of how people see me and experience me. So when I'm feeling insecure, like I'm not doing enough, this is a place that I can come and get affirmation and just be reminded that I'm doing dope things and I'm a dope ass person. So one of the cards says, "Your confidence to be exactly who you are serves as an inspiration to me as well as many others." And that's my friend that I have had since I was like 8 or 9. And then I have a card from my undergrad professor, and it says, "Thank you. You have so many gifts. You are wise, capable, curious, vulnerable, strong, and true. Learn to be gentle with yourself. Be patient. Celebrate your victories, small ones and big. There will be many celebrations yet. Have faith." So I just love this board as a place to give me inspiration and remind me of where I've been, where I'm trying to go, and that I'm amazing. Okay, so this board right here, I worked on with my fabulous roommate. It just really helps to carve out my main goal of where I want to see my business go and the structure of it, and it has different tasks on here that I can kind of move as I accomplish them. It just helps me to feel like I'm doing the next best thing in terms of what I need to do for my business. So I love having it here in my visuals all the time, so I can look at it, sit with it, and think about what's the next step that I need to take. And going back to what I said earlier, I love knowledge. So when I do get new knowledge, I like to write it out and stick it on my wall as a reminder to myself to help keep me motivated. So something that I have on my wall says, this proclamation of intent and entitlement is not something you can do just once and expect miracles. It's something you must do daily, forever. Never back down. You cannot afford to back down. The life you are negotiating to free is your own. And I have scarcely left my body. Like, I just have these quotes from different areas of life, different things that I've read, and I keep it here. And I read them sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night, just as a way to remind me that even though the journey sometimes gets difficult, I'm very capable, and it's imperative that I continue onward. And then I drew out like a vision for myself. So my life currently, then some steps that I need to take, and then where I'm trying to see it go within the next 10 years. So I'm a very visual person, and I like to keep visuals up for myself to remind myself of what I'm doing and what I'm trying to work on. I love keeping certain aspects of like what I need to work on by my bedhead, so I can pull at it at any time and just start journaling, writing. So right by my bed, I have one of my favorite books, and I like to just open it up at any given page, and it usually has something that I'm looking for. So the page I just opened is the permission chapter, and I can just read through it, and it will give me something around giving myself permission. The book is called Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it is probably one of, if not one of, like my favorite book of all time. And I keep my journals by my bed as a way to be able to just pull from them at any given point and take a second just to write out my thoughts, my feelings, things that I'm working on, things that I want to see manifest and grow, where I want to take things. And I have my old journal by my bed as a way to refer back to and read through it if I ever need to. I like to keep all my journals. And I also keep crystals by my bed. My crystals, one of my favorite babies is my rose quartz. And for me, it's just a way of like keeping a certain type of like high vibrational loving energy around me at all times, and keeping it close to where I sleep does that for me. And gratitude. I feel like people talk about this all the time, but it really is a thing that helps me. I have these thank you cards, and I have a bunch of them around, and it's just a way to remind myself to have gratitude for people in my life and the things that they do for me and all the ways that they care for me. So I write different cards to different folks that I'm feeling love or gratitude towards, and then I give them to them. So that's something that is new to my life. I've only been doing it for maybe 2 months now, so it's very new, but I have definitely seen the plus of staying grateful and letting people in my life know that I'm grateful for them. I think that it helps keep me motivated. One, because I'm a person that loves building relationships, so having these stronger bonds helps keep me motivated, but it also just helps to remind me to be grateful and to see all the great things that are happening in my life, therefore motivating me to want to do more great things and build stronger relationships. I love plants. I like nature a lot, so having nature in my home is a way to just help me feel peaceful and feel grounded. And I feel like we share affection with each other. So I talk to the plant, I hug the plant, I tell it how beautiful it is, because yes, you are so beautiful. And for me, it's just a place to feel connected to nature, and it reminds me of plants back home in Jamaica. So it also gives me a feeling of peace and home, and it helps keep me motivated just knowing that I can have this place within my home to come to and feel affection and love from my baby. I hope that y'all enjoy this video and found tools within it that you can use in your everyday life, whether it's some of the books or the crystals or just ways that you can have more gratitude in your life. Please share with me if there's anything that you saw in the video that you feel like you want to implement within your life. And if you're looking for more tools and more activities that you can use to really just work on figuring out ways to have more self-love within your life and to stay motivated, you can check out my website, www.niazamar.com, Niazamar, and I actually have a free ebook there called Ritual 101, and you can just sign up to the mailing list and you can get that ebook there. Thank you. Peace.